Hi, this is Michael William Denny of ThunderShamanism.com, and today I'm going to talk to you about some more information that's found in the book Mounting Sleipnir, the Indo-European Roots of Germanic Polytheism. So today I want to talk to you about a few of the deities that are unique to Germanic polytheism. And this means that I haven't been able to find a linguistic or direct connection from any of these deities to other deities in the Indo-European tradition. You know, there are some that are very similar, which show me a similarity in terms of evolution, but they still are unique to themselves. I'll start with Odin because Odin falls into that category. We've talked about this before, but Odin is, or Woden, which I believe is his original pronunciation, Woden, is the original to the Germanic people, and he's the god of shamanic initiation. He is the king of the gods, and I believe that he earned that. I don't believe that the universe just evolved and he was the king. I think that Tiu, or Deus Pater, the Sky Father, was the king of the gods. But as the Germanic people started to evolve their spirituality, they started focusing on spiritual empowerment. They started focusing on what we would call enlightenment, but it's a very dynamic, active enlightenment. It's not static and full of emptiness. It's this dynamic, complete self-awareness. And in fact, his name Woden, N means made of, like a wood-end door is a door made of wood. So Woden is he who is made of wood. That's all he is. And he has a strong connection to the dwarves, which we'll perhaps talk about another time, but he is complete awareness. Now, he does have a contemporary in the Hindu society. Now, in Vedic society, Shiva did exist, but Shiva was simply a name for Indra. But then later Shiva became his own deity and he became the king of the gods. And that's interesting because that's what Woden did. Woden became the king of the gods, and they're both the same thing. They're both the deity of self-awareness, complete, total self-awareness. You know, Woden is seen as the fury of self-awareness, which of course is very Germanic in that sense. And the Hindu version, Shiva is the king of the gods, but he is just completely absorbed in meditation. He's connected to everything at all times. He's the, he doesn't judge anybody. If you want to worship a deity in the Hindu religion where you don't have to worry about what to do or what not to do, Shiva's the guy. Shiva has no problems with anybody. In fact, in that mythology, Shiva runs around followed by ghosts and demons and, agoris and, prostitutes and drug addicts. They all just hang out with Shiva because Shiva is like, hey man, whatever. Because he's completely complete in himself, and so he doesn't have any, he doesn't have any insecurities about anything. So Woden and Shiva very similar. So then we have, I'm going to talk about a couple more. I'm going to talk about Surt. Now Surt is definitely a being that is very unique to Germanic spirituality, and I believe he had a lot to do with the influence of the modern Christian understanding of the devil. Because Surt comes from where? The fire world. He is the god of fire. Now, he's not the god of fire like Ing. Ing is the god of internal fire and spirituality. He's not even the god of physical fire. He is the god of entropy. It up. But it basically means, once you let that out, it can never come back. It's just complete chaos. And so he's not a god in that sense. He doesn't have conscious awareness in that sense. You can't pray to him or you can't fight against him. It's, like the Christians want to fight against the devil. We could get into, how is it that this, all-powerful being has to continuously fight with this devil. But anyway, that's another subject. But Surt, is inevitable. Entropy is inevitable. Entropy has to come before there is transformation. And we see that in the myths. This takes us to the next person that I think is very unique to the Germanic tradition, which is Loki. Loki is the trickster god. Now, how you view Loki tells me everything about your emotional maturity and the depth of your spiritual understanding. If you see Loki as the devil, then I just know already that you are perhaps emotionally immature. I know that you are insecure and frightened, and I know that you're afraid that something is going to come and take away whatever it is. So you have to be on guard and you have to fight him. Now, a lot of the gods feel the same way about him, but they don't see that Loki is actually the deity that is responsible for evolution. It is Loki who is responsible for all of the gods' superpowers. Thor's hammer, Loki helped him retrieve that. The Brisingamen, which is Freya's, diamond pendant, which grants her, wisdom and spiritual enlightenment. We could go on and on and on. Odin's horse, Sleipnir, his 8-legged horse, Loki is responsible for that. If it weren't for Loki, the gods wouldn't be who they were. They wouldn't have their power. And it is Loki at the end in Ragnarok, when Surt, which is entropy, chaos, when he is released, and he brings with him all the forces of destruction, that Loki is the one that leads the charge. Now, Loki doesn't do that because he hates the gods or humanity. In fact, quite the opposite. He loves us, and he has no other agenda but for our evolution. But Loki understands that that can only happen through death and resurrection. And if you see in the myths, the gods have to die, but they are transformed into a higher level of themselves. It represents, reincarnation. It represents all kinds of stuff. That's why Loki is such a misunderstood god. How you view him is going to tell me everything. Okay, so we could go on and on and on, but those are some of the deities that we talk about that I believe are indigenous to the Germanic tradition, which is found in the book Mounting Sleipnir. There's a link below here. You can get it directly on Amazon. If you're interested in gaining real power, I have created a DVD called Celestial Qigong. I created it a long time ago. And what it is it's a 2-set DVD of exercises that are the most powerful energy work that I know of that can be done safely and taught safely through video. Now, people contact me all the time and they want to know the higher realms. And, for my apprentices and people who work with me, I teach them very high level stuff. But that's because it has to be done on a one-on-one basis, because there's all kinds of, you have to know exactly what you're doing with your posture. And I have to know enough about you to know what's going to be beneficial for you, because it's very dangerous if it's done the wrong way. But this video is something that anybody can do. And as long as you ground yourself, you're going to be good. The next thing I recommend is that you look into apprenticeship. Apprenticeship just means you work with me for 1 hour a week and you commit to 1 month at a time. And, what I'm really looking to do is find people who have the ability, the desire, the commitment, the emotional maturity to be able to learn everything I have to teach. Now, that doesn't mean you have to stay with me forever. You can stay with me for as little or as long as you want. In fact, people who become my apprentice are going to get over $3,000 worth of free stuff, including free streaming videos that they'll have access to for life, as well as other things like astrological charts and things like that, which if you were to take it piecemeal would add up to over $3,000. So even if you were just my apprentice for just a few months, you're still going to save huge amounts of money. So I recommend that as well. So, and if you have any questions, of course, you can give me a call. I'll talk with anybody for a few minutes and answer your questions about what it is that we do and see if it's a good fit. So anyway, that's it for now. Until next time, my friends.